Hey, what's good guys? This is Chris from WearTesters.com. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we're taking a detailed look and review at these guys right here. This is Nike's brand new Joyride Run Flyknit. So these guys right here were just unveiled. We have a detailed article on the whole press event from our guy Michael Silver over at WearTesters.com. Go ahead and check that out. We'll leave a link in the description box for anybody interested. However, this is my first time and Mrs. Wing's first time actually having a pair of these in hand, and we did try them on feet as well. And I just gotta say, like, this is just one of the weirdest, right? Like, it's just weird.
It's very weird.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm just saying it feels funny. Now, before we get into too much detail, I did want to thank the good people over at Nike Running for sending these our way. We greatly appreciate it, as well as thanking everybody on our WearTesters Discord community. They're the reason why we're able to do what we do. They support the channel. If you wanted to help support the channel as well, because we are 100% independent, we are self-funded, click the link in the description box below to head you over to WearTesters.com where you can find out what it means to be a WearTesters Discord member. And with that being said, let's take a look at these things. Now, the first thing that I will talk about is the sizing. Normally, I kind of save that for last, but Nike actually sent me a half a size larger as well as my wife than what we normally wear, and I just kind of assume that that's because the shoes kind of fit narrow and snug. When I tried them on, they're definitely narrow, they're very tight and all that stuff. However, I do like my shoes to fit snug from a length perspective. So this size right here is a half a size larger than my normal size, and it gives me the, what would you call it, the normal space between your toe and the tip of the shoe.
For running, I would say so.
Like when you stick your, like Brian always does this. Brian, he's one of our testers for the running. He does basketball and training, but what he likes to do is he does this like finger thing. So he's like a thumb's width of space, and it kind of depends on who you ask. Some people say it's a thumb's width. Some people say it's like a pinky nail. Some people use fingers. Like if you could put one finger between your heel and the back of the shoe, then the shoe fits you properly. If you can fit two or more fingers, obviously there's too much room in there. So it just kind of depends on like who you ask. For this guy right here, being a half a size up from my normal size, from a casual perspective, I would have preferred going true to size, just because I don't like that extra space. I like it to be a nice sock fit and all that stuff, especially with the way that these shoes are made. They are almost 100% Flyknit, and so that's the fit that I like out of Flyknit, is for it to be a conforming type of fit. Now, speaking of the materials, like I was saying, a lot of this is Flyknit, so this whole kind of like lateral area as well as the toe is Flyknit, the tongue and the medial side is this neoprene type of material, something that you would see on a Huarache. And then this back material, I don't even know what to call this. It looks like ripstop. It could be ripstop, could just be like a different type of ripstop where it's not see-through, and instead it's just like a solid like kind of color. And that's pretty much all of the materials right there. And then we do have some fuse overlays in high wear areas. We got one on the toe, the eye stay for some strength and all that stuff for the lacing. So if you really want to wrench those laces up, even though you'll have a lot of lace pressure because there's not a lot of padding right there. These two eyelets right here at the top are reflective, as well as this little panel in the back underneath the bungee. Now the cushion is what everybody's kind of talking about. This is the Joyride cushioning system. Yes, it looks very similar to something that a lot of us had seen already in Puma's jamming model, and that was their energy beads. I don't know exactly what happened with that. I believe there was some sort of weird lawsuit issue between Nike and Puma. I don't know if Puma jumped the gun on something that Nike already patented. I don't really know the whole story. All I know is that Puma put energy beads inside of an Air Max unit and then tried to say that it was brand new cushion, and now it's no longer available. But Nike's doing it now, and this stuff right here, a lot of people are calling Dippin' Dots. And what it is just a ton of little foam beads packed into this little kind of like house carrier. And at the arch, you can see where it says that this is a conforming cushioning system. So when you first put these things on, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see it, but this little logo right there is kind of like puffed up and bubbly. That's what the entire footbed looks like inside of the shoe. So you're stepping on this kind of like weird bubble, and the bubble's a little thin, and it's also broken up into each chamber where all of those beads are packed into. So you can feel the beads are kind of like separated from the heel to the midfoot to the forefoot, as well as the ball of the foot and toe area. Now, when you put these things on for the first time, that whole footbed feels super weird. It feels extremely foreign. Again, it's a conforming cushioning system, so that's kind of what the uniqueness of this Joyride is supposed to be about. I don't think it's really about impact protection and responsiveness and spring back in your step and all that stuff, like something that you would see out of maybe React, their new stuff called Renew, Zoom Air, Zoom X, Zoom Turbo, whatever the there's so many different iterations of cushion with Nike. This one right here is all about molded cushioning. So it's supposed to give you like a cradled one-to-one fit footbed underneath your foot the longer that you wear it. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. All I know is that, again, when I first put them on, they feel hella weird. Like they just feel, I don't know how to explain it. I just know that if I were to put these on in a store, it would be a little bit of a turnoff. So that's why I'm trying to hit home the whole conforming part, because you got to really understand that when you put these on, it's not going to feel right. It's going to feel very strange because it's not your foot shape. So your pressure, your weight, all that stuff is supposed to move these beads around, kind of give you a one-to-one fit and all that stuff underneath here. A lot of people pay a lot of money for insoles that are custom like that. So I think that it's interesting that they're doing that in shoes. Like you can't even remove the insole. So it's all one thing. You're literally sitting from insole to the cushioning system or the Joyride system. I don't even want to call it cushioning system because I don't know if this is going to bottom out. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't make sense to me. It looks like a ball pit. It's probably going to act like a ball pit. The more that you step on it, the more it moves out the way. And the more that it moves out the way, the less balls underneath your body or your foot will be, which means less cushioning. I don't think that the cushioning system is necessarily the real heavy hitter right there. I believe it's the whole conforming aspect of it. And last but not least, we have the outsole, and the outsole looks hella weird, dude. Like there's not a lot of rubber here. So this stuff right there is just super weird. You can really push all that in and all that stuff. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can fold these in half and everything. Oop, there's a, gonna take that out. But yeah, you could do all this stuff. It's such a weird, it's so strange. And I don't mean strange in a bad way. I'm very much intrigued by these things. I want to wear them because it's so different. And I think that's the main thing that Nike's great at. It's not just marketing, but it's also marketing something that doesn't seem like it makes much sense, and it just kind of makes you want to try it. Because I know for a fact everybody in our Discord member community area and stuff, we're all talking about these right now, and we're all wanting to try them out. And that, I think, is the key that Nike's great at. Nike's great at doing something very small like this, even though they say that it took them 10 years, and making everybody talk about it. The retail price is $180. They are due out in stores on August 15th. If you are a Nike Plus member, you'll also be able to get like exclusive early access. I don't know when that date is. They actually had the date, what there's a new date?
It's not August 1st, because originally they were saying it was the 20th.
It was the 25th.
And then it got moved to August 1st.
Okay, thank you. So I guess if you're a Nike Plus member, you'll be able to start grabbing these early, beginning on August 1st. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do an update video, not just from me, but also from Mrs. Wink's perspective. And speaking of which, you're wearing them?
I had to put them back on so I could think about my thoughts. And yes, there was a complete thumbs.
Yeah, because they sent her a half a size up too.
Yeah, I now own my first pair of size 7s.
Do you wish it was a 6.5?
I don't know. We'll see after my first run. I usually go for a 6.5 in all of my running shoes because I'm a 6 casually.
Lengthwise.
Yes.
But she has a wide foot. Somebody in
You'll get to see it in this footage.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to break out.
My pinky toe.
But no, somebody in our Discord community posted a picture of his foot on the Brannick device, the measuring device. And the cool thing about those is not only do they measure your length, but they also measure your width. He had a wide foot, and so I feel bad for him because like it's hard to get a shoe that fits right. The thing is that like you can see where it's like the E widths and shit. I was like, yo, those are like, I feel real bad because that's like an elephant's foot. They're really big.
We had him, we were in Dick's, and he put on a wide foot shoe.
I was swimming in it.
It was crazy. Well, I was like, man, those would be really comfortable.
Yeah, but like, I couldn't believe it. I was just like, yo, that's a lot of room. We were just talking privately about how in our little Discord community, there's a lot of wide footers.
Yes.
There's more wide footers than people give them credit for. So yeah, so she went up, not on purpose, but like, that's just what they sent, up from her normal up half a size, and they are still a very narrow fitting shoe, just to put that out there. So this rubber outsole is a little thin, and the cushion's definitely weird. It almost feels like it's less cushion and more of custom.
Yes.
You know, like a custom insole, like I was saying earlier. A lot of people pay a lot of money for that stuff. Once this stuff breaks down, it's going to probably feel closer to a free model than a cushioned model like a Pegasus or the Turbo.
Right.
Stuff like that. So are you along the same thoughts as me, or like what do you think about the rubber, the cushion, all that stuff, prediction wise?
I'm intrigued. I want to see how the rubber outsole lasts, because we saw something that they were saying that the shoe is supposed to go over 450 miles. Typically, a running shoe is supposed to get you to at least 300 before you're like, next. So I'm curious to see how the rubber outsole lasts, because that's usually what gives out on me first.
What do you use a free for?
So I use a free as a training tool. So only
short distance runs.
Yeah, short distance. Some people will even use that as their warm-up shoe, where they'll do their first 2 or 3 miles, and then they'll be like, okay, now I'm changing into my distance.
Was marketing specific on what this is for then? Because that's the part where I'm confused.
I feel like this is for more of a newer runner.
Yes, but did marketing say anything in the press release? I don't remember reading about it.
I feel like I can't
Okay, so maybe they didn't say anything. This is my thought, but maybe this is to potentially phase out the free stuff.
But I don't know, because they did such a strong push at the beginning of the year.
Well, of course, because it was the new free. You don't want to on that product just because this product's coming out.
True.
You know, which is maybe why they're not saying, because they're promoting heavily Joyride, and it sounds like a fun cushion.
Yes.
But I don't think it's meant for necessarily cushion. Do you know where my train of thought is, at least? Like it doesn't feel like this is real cushion. It feels like this is a custom footbed.
Yeah, I feel like it's supposed to be anybody can slide this on, and they have that one-to-one
fit.
Yes.
Is that important though for a runner? Because I've only experienced that really once.
With?
Like a true custom type of footbed with the Kobe 6 as a basketball player.
Oh, where you felt like it was made for you?
Well, no, it literally, like, it molds to your foot. Like, it was made out of some weird styrofoam stuff. And when I first was wearing the shoe to test it, this is years ago, but when I was first wearing it, I didn't like it. It felt weird. You know, like, that's the best way. It didn't fit right. All that stuff didn't feel right. But then the longer that I wore it, it eventually molded to my foot shape. I thought that was awesome. That's what I liked about the Kobe 4 also, is that had a little footbed of Lunar. In the original, it was called Lunar Lawn at the time. It bottomed out and everything, but what I felt like it did was really cradled and cupped the foot.
So it'll be an interesting couple weeks. We're supposed to have.
So you don't think that if this thing forms to your foot shape, because you get blisters like crazy?
I do.
So there's 6 running shoes over there. You like 2 of them, maybe 3. Okay, out of 6.
I don't even think you can see all of them right now.
So there might be even more.
Yeah.
But 3 guaranteed I know that she likes, and it's after she breaks them in and she gets no blisters afterwards. So if this shoe molds to your foot shape and everyone else's foot shape as a custom fitting shoe, isn't that the best fit for running?
This is their first one, and so I'm curious to see how it does and then what they tweak to make it even better.
Now, if we're talking about potential future, what I'm thinking is like this is intro, and then we're getting a basketball shoe with this shoe.
I think that's safe to say.
3 years tops. We're gonna get Joyride in basketball, and I think that again, it's gonna be the new court feel. Like it's gonna mold to your foot, and then you're gonna feel like, oh, these were made for me. I could be way off on that. That's just my thoughts and my theories on, because this does not feel right off the bat.
It feels like it's sectioning to the bottom of your foot. It doesn't allow any space. It's almost like your foot's kind of saran wrapped once you're in there.
You know when you put your hands, your kids' hands in that stuff, that clay, it's like that.
Or like those pins.
That cool thing that you stick your face in? Yeah.
That's what it's like.
I love
under
those.
Your foot.
Or once in a while you like do the middle finger and then you leave it on the shelf. What a move. I've done that hell of times.